first impression that comes to our mind about any college: tall buildings, big classrooms, large lobby areas, thick books, IT labs, assignments, class tests, and projects. Nothing besides that. Every hour, minute, second spent here help us carving and shaping our persona, cultivating innovative mindsets for the challenging world. Learning is a lifelong process. Sharing knowledge, inculcating values of life, spark the innovative horizons of mind. Fun and frolic is the nature of every nook and corner here. A daily dose of thrill we are sure to get here.
Good morning, everyone. I, Dr. Tina Mbora, Assistant Professor, DME Media School, welcome you all to the Session Orientation Program 2021. For the second consecutive year, DME Media School is organizing this program with the motive of apprising students about their subjects in the upcoming semester and also to prepare them for a career in those particular fields. The theme for this year's Session Orientation Program is Contemporary Media Scenario, Challenges and Opportunities. I would now like to take a moment and introduce DME Media School. It is one of the most promising media education centers in the country that focuses on the growth of its students as well as faculty through academic and co-curricular activities. Even in the face of the ongoing pandemic, the school has ensured that the teaching-learning process goes uninterrupted and more value can be added to the existing curriculum. DME Media School is a pioneer in organizing successful events, both offline and virtual. Since 2020, we have organized a plethora of webinars, workshops, chat shows, FDPs, and much more in the virtual mode. We have also organized our flagship programs, Cineast, International Film Festival of India, Media Fest, Vritika, and more recently, the 4th edition of our International Media Conference, Icing, as a 10-day digital live affair. The school also organizes monthly BG Verghese lectures series with eminent media experts who deliver special lectures on subjects of contemporary value. At the heart of our zealous efforts are the students of media school who are equally enthusiastic and enterprising in their approach. We are glad to see them keeping their morale high despite the unforeseen hardships. I welcome all 5th semester students to their new semester. We welcome you to the new semester and the paper, Event Management, where different aspects of organizing and managing events are going to be discussed. And now I invite Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dean, DME Media School, for his opening remarks for this session.
Thank you, Tina. So I welcome Dr. Deepak Swaminathan to this session. So he's kind enough that he has spared so much time for us. As Dr. Tina already told us all, so this is this session orientation program. This is something which we devised last year. Normally the session orientation program or the orientation program happens right at the beginning when a new batch is joining an institution, but we did think of that there has to be a continuous process as far as the orientation is concerned, wherein the students who are entering the 2nd year and the 3rd year, they are also oriented, keeping in view the subjects that they will be taking up in their 3rd semester and the 5th semester. Because in this bachelor's program, which we offer, this IP Universities program in DME, this is based on semesters and every semester has different papers. And one unique thing about this syllabus is that there is an independent identity of theory papers as well as that of practical papers. Like event management is one such paper, which is a theory paper, and there is a separate lab paper, which is again an independent paper, not subordinate to the theory paper, which ultimately means that we believe that there has to be things happening in a hands-on mode, wherein the skill is not imparted in the class, but students learn on their own. And then this whole concept of experiential learning, wherein if you do something on your own and then you experience that, and that is how you learn. And that is why we organize so many activities, right from organizing the international conference to organizing international film festival, and with a deep involvement of the students, even the research, because the international conference, which is a research-based thing, but that's not confined to teachers or the researchers. The students are also participating at different levels, be it the writing paper and presenting paper, be it organizing the sessions, or having the technical hosting, or even anchoring the sessions. So that is how this whole event management paper becomes important for us. And besides different activities that we organize as part of this paper, we also organize a media fest, which we have been organizing for many years. This year, we have been trying to change a little bit its whole format, wherein we are putting it as a convention of media students, and we are trying to seek participation from all parts of the country. So this SOP, this session orientation program, has been designed that way. Another endeavor that we tried to have since last year, where we are trying to rope in the experts of the subject, whichever part of the country they might be there. And this is one benefit that this online medium has provided to us. And that is how Dr. Deepak Swaminathan is with us. Otherwise, obviously, in ordinary terms, I mean, if we are inviting somebody from outside, so much logistics and other things are involved. It's not possible always. Definitely, we invite people, even in the international conference and international film festivals. We have been having the participants and the guests from different parts of the country. But then, obviously, this is a little bit convenient for us and for the guest as well. So I welcome Dr. Swaminathan to be with us in this session, and I believe the input that the students will be getting in this session will be of use very shortly when they are organizing this media fest and the film festival. So thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Swaminathan.
Thank you. Very good morning, all of you. I think I'm lucky to be here before noon, so I still wish you a good morning. Dr. Saxena, that was a fantastic premise and preamble. Dr. Teenam, thank you so much. Sushmi Sadi, namaste and thank you. And special thanks to Dr. Krishnaji. My dear friends, you're all at a cusp of a change this country is actually experiencing.
Dr. Swaminathan, if you don't mind interrupting,
Yes.
Dr. Teenam Bora is say to something more before you start.
No problem. It's no formalities either.
Yeah.
Perfectly okay. If you would like to do that.
I would actually like to introduce your
Sure,
profile to our
sure.
students.
Sure.
Dr. Deepak Swaminathan is an entrepreneur, trainer, moderator, speaker, and author. He is awarded with a degree in commerce, a master's in business studies, and doctorate in management science from International University of Contemporary Studies, USA, and is experienced in leading Indian corporate for 5 years before commencing his journey as an entrepreneur. Dr. Swaminathan has recently authored a book titled The Art of Building Experiential Events that has received a good response from communication professionals and budding entrepreneurs from around the globe. The book contains the science and art of designing experiential events with case studies drawn from live events and illustrations of the best practices. Dr. Swaminathan has been an integral part of reputed organizations, including Tata Chemicals and Hansa Vision. His entrepreneur journey includes organizations like the Media Point, Arena Multimedia, Dimensions Fitness Studio, MediaWorks, and PepUp Emerge Technologies. PepUp offers a robust platform and has delivered virtual experiences with best-in-class solutions for clients. Under the able mentorship of Dr. Deepak Swaminathan, PepUp is developing more cloud-based solutions that will add immense value across stakeholders to connect, create, and collaborate. He also has a YouTube channel for entrepreneurs and young professionals that presents values through stories. Dr. Swaminathan and his organization has been recognized by NSDC and Exhibitions Showcase for the innovation and unveiling ELECRAMA 2018 and for consecutively winning 5 editions. Also, MediaPoint was awarded high credit rating by CRISIL for prompt payment of taxes and payment compliances. More recently, his organization has also been awarded with a recognition for their work on building India's pioneering virtual platform for expos and events. Welcome, Dr. Swaminathan. I'm sure our students will be able to learn quite a few things from you today. I now hand over the session to you.
Thank
The
you.
screen is all yours.
Thank you. That was quite brief. Thank you so much. My dear friends, geography is no more marked by geosense fencing anymore. As Dr. Ambarish rightly said, in a normal situation, half the time we spend in hotels, half the time we spend in flights, half the time in airports, traveling around the world trying to execute events. This last 1.5 years has taught us a lot of things. And personally, for me, it has been very enriching because we are able to do so many things parallelly. I would be so happy if a few of you or all of you, right? Like I just call out some names, Siddharth, Aryan, Pragati, Abhishek. You all, if you're allowed, please open your cameras if it's okay for you, because this makes the discussion more fruitful. Now, I have prepared my presentation today primarily on the premise of experiential events, the current trends, and the future opportunities and possibilities. You are most welcome to interrupt me at any point in time. You are most welcome to put your comments on the chat. And if you really like it, please do appreciate so that everybody takes note of the point we are trying to discuss. Are we good to go? If you're all on chat, is chat enabled for everybody? Oh, it's awesome. So can I see a few yes, let's start or something? Can I get some of you typing out saying yes, we can start or something? Thank you, Meda. Thank you, Ayushi. Tanisha, awesome. That's what I want. Thank you. Good. So here we go. This presentation might sound like a typical corporate presentation. I've blended it with a lot of videos for you all. Okay. So there would be some life learnings. These learnings are from geographies of India. As Tinam rightly said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, but event management helped me set up the base to become a serial entrepreneur. This business has been highly unrecognized in our country, and hence I wrote the first book as a dedication from the industry, which has reached the honorable government of India. The book is called The Art of Building Experiential Events. Event management is a science, and we try to master the science, and it's a never learning experience. With those few words, here we go into the presentation. I would request you to just confirm you're able to see my slides. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Okay. Life is a journey of learning. Current trends and future prospects of experiential events is what we're going to talk about. A quick background about what we are. We are an agency headquartered in Chennai by choice. I've operated out of Mumbai for a long time, but Chennai being home, I moved back to Chennai. We have presence across Delhi, Bombay, and in Middle East and Southeast Asia. We have done about 4,006 shows. As I'm talking to you, the 1st of September this year, we would be stepping into our 24th year of operation. Our other group companies include PepUp, which has got the virtual platform in India. We developed the platform way back in 2017. Then we have MediaPoint Live and MediaPoint Live, which is a news channel for large exhibitions. Well, quickly coming to the subject, I will break my subject into 4 parts, my dear friends. Pandemic's purpose, what really clicks, the art of storytelling, the case studies, and future of experiential events, right? For you to quickly take a look at how pandemic has affected globally, the first big pandemic that has been recorded was the Spanish flu, as you all know. And the first commercial airline operation started soon after the pandemic. I'm trying to link those things which are connected with our event business along with the flu and the pandemic that hit the country. Then we had the next virus in 2025. We again had a lockdown. Soon after that, announcements were required. So loudspeaker, instant camera, and television came into existence. Then we had typhoid, which froze the entire world, and a lot of ready-made hot stuff was required for people, and hence frozen dried coffee came into existence. Then we had the Asian flu in 1957-58. India had faced lockdown back then too. Immediately after that, VCP and VCRs came, where recorded stuff was distributed around countries, and fiber optic also came in. We had cholera in 1965-70. Water became the challenge, and then water purifiers came into existence. In 90 to 2000, we had the plagues continuously infecting the country. We had the USB and water disinfection, which came up. 1998 saw a complete breakthrough in the country. Flew across the world, instant information became necessary and essential. Google came into existence. I doubt many of you would have still been born or would have been toddlers at this time. Then in 2000, 2010, we had, name it, the virus it had, SARS, Ebola, swine flu, and the convergence revolution, the sunrise of the convergence revolution took place. Well, at this side, in 1998 is when we set up our company MediaPoint, and our first event happened on September in 1998. Now, soon after the launch of MediaPoint, as a typical event manager, I realized that events were all being looked at only as a supplier. We were being looked at as suppliers of equipments. There was a requirement from a client, and we had to supply to the requirement. That's when in 1998, the first account of ours was launching Mitsubishi Lancer vehicles in the country. We launched the Pajero in the country and the Lancer car in the country. 2003, I personally designed and devised the Sony Vision exhibitions around India. This was one of the well-written and well-covered exhibitions in India. 2008, we went into the concept of immersive exhibitions by creating a smart home on wheels with connections, with very limited internet connections. Back then, we created a smart home on wheels for Honeywell, MK Honeywell. 2009, I experimented with the art of creating a 3D master of ceremonies for an event for HLL Life Care. 2013-14, we realized that all is done and dusted because it was becoming very regimental. It was becoming very format oriented. Then we started adopting technology into our events. This from 2013-14, we started exploring and investing our monies in the technology space, where we developed fantastic cloud solutions and products which help the clients reach out to their customers. Let me show you a small video here at this point. Okay, please confirm or stop me if you do not hear the audio. So we realized that technology is here to stay, and we were able to win over accounts compared to competition, and we were able to expand our markets beyond the geography of India. Well, now here is one question I want all of you to answer. How many of you aspire to become celebrated event professionals? You can post your answers to me on the chat, or you can open your mic and talk to me also. How many of you aspire to become celebrated event professionals? Can I look for some answers, please? Can I? How many of you aspire to become celebrated event professionals? Any question, any answers for me, please? None of you? Yes, Shruti Pandey has raised her hand. Okay, good. You can even put it on your chat.
Yes, raise your hands and ask questions.
Yes, you can. You're most welcome to raise your hands. Right. There were a couple of people who raised their hands. Okay. Then, what fascinates you? Yes, Medha, thank you for taking this initiative and answering. What fascinates you to be in the experiential events business? What fascinates you to be the experiential events business? Anything on a chat? What fascinates you? I had to learn new things. Thank you, Ayushi. Wow, Medha, Ayushi. Thank you. I'm going to gift you an intellectual learning post specially created for you, two of you, because you took the initiative. Awesome. Medha says she aspires to become an event manager, and I had to learn new things. Ayushi, any other answer, please? Any other? Think. You're able to think? Nothing much. Shall I proceed then? Okay, new experiences, Meda, thank you. Okay, good, right. So I'm going to give you a hierarchy of value proposition, which will help you in terms of gaining traction in the event business or any business that you do. This has helped me. This is not something we have lifted from somewhere, but this is a theorem or a pyramid which I've devised myself, and it has given me excellent mileage in terms of winning accounts and businesses. This I call the Triumph Pyramid. It's a three-layered pyramid which helps you gain over competition and be ahead of the race. Okay. The Triumph Pyramid tier one is about your attitude. The persona identification takes place here. Every time you say no, you have to learn never to say no in an event business. A positive and forward thinking helps you retain your mileage, and willing to face anything and try out new things really helps you. I'm going to give you a case study here. 1998-99, when we started the company, when I started as a one-man show, the first account which I backed in 1998 was launch of Mitsubishi Lancer and Pajero cars. Believe me, India had still not seen the advent of these flamboyant cars in the country. I had to go and pitch to a set of Japanese who were handling the Mitsubishi communication. And believe me, there were larger international agencies which were pitching for the launch. I said I would be able to bring them a differentiation. All I did was brought in a set of professionals, performers like Shankar Mahadevan, Zakir Hussain, Shivamani, Carl Peters, and we created a necklace of album on Mitsubishi, which was used for the launch. And we designed the entire launch and we got the job. From then on, I think until 2010, we were handling all the products of Mitsubishi and Lancer because they were very active at that point in time. The next part of the Triumph Pyramid is the character, the persona foundation. How trustable you are, how constructive you are, and how adaptable you are really forms the second tier. So your foundation is going to be the attitude. The second tier which supports you is the character. I'll give you an example. We handled ELECRAMA in Delhi. I've been handling ELECRAMA from 2010. On the trot, we have been designing and handling about 6 editions. ELECRAMA happens once in 2 years. From 2010 until 2020, before the pandemic hit the country, all the ELECRAMAs were designed by Media Point of View. We had a very big challenge where in 2018, we had to face huge gales in Noida. And there was a challenge in terms of the stability of the structures that were put up. In about 12 hours time, we had to remove everything and reset it up. So this was one thing which gave us a lot of mileage with our clients. Clients trusted us a lot. I will tell you a story like this. Way back, about 20 years back with Hindustan Motors, we received double payment for a same job. The job was billed once in Chennai, once in Delhi by mistake by the client's auditing team, and we were given 2 payments. Those were the days when we did not have these automated payments, and we had received 2 checks, and one came from the automobile division, the other came from the machine tools division. Because the activity for the group, we could have easily kept the check. But what we did was we made it a point and we returned the entire money to the client. I'm talking about way back. The reason I'm telling you this is I was also young and brash. But then this small impact of writing an apology letter for receiving this and then giving it back to them, this created an aura of trust and faith in Media Point. Thus, we had the account with us for almost 12 years in spite of severe competition of agencies coming and pitching with the client. Then the third tier, which is I call the H tier. The H tier is your persona recognition. Here, you become a mentor, you become an advisor, and you also are part of the policy and frameworks of the bounce boards of these organizations. Seldom event managers think of reaching this stage because most of the event people in the country talk about opportunities which are short term. They try to make opportunities or businesses within a very defined period of time and they exit. What I would say is if you'd like to build a brand, these 3 tiers really helps you. And probably I'm an example where today I'm on the board of various organizations like ELECRAMA, where we handle the events. I'm the event concessionaire. Internet of India Congress, we are on the board where we decide what kind of events have to be designed, who are the speakers we call globally. IMTEX, we handle the complete content for the television for IMTEX and also the World Utility Summit. I'm one of the designers of World Utility Summit. I call this triumph pyramid as ACE. So attitude, character, and edge. Well, with this, we go to the next step. Here is a small dedication for all of you who are aspiring to be event managers. So I request you all to bring the line out in you, right? Here is a small takeaway for people. For those of my friends who have joined this morning, I call this the 5 Fs, okay? This 5 Fs will help you when you design experiential events. Number 1, the first F is focused. An idea that will excite your client's client. Your client is coming to you with looking forward to a solution which can excite his client. So always remain focused on your client's requirement and then you design your events. Second, be as frugal as possible and ensure that the idea you give is easily replicatable by you. You should have some innovation within your idea, which others may not be able to easily execute. And the nerve center of that idea, you should only be able to replicate. The third one, make your designing as futuristic as possible. When I say futuristic, I'm not talking about jazzy sets. I'm not talking about jazzy stuff. I'm talking about an experience which will turn a wow and will become a discussion point. I'll give you an example. When we had the launch of the Pajero in Bangalore way back then, shock was the theme that was taken for the event. We had arranged to have a few snakes which were kept on top of a transparent sheet, and then the snakes were kept, and when people walked in, we had automated sounds of hissing and people were shocked. Now, not everybody might take it well, but if you're able to cut an ice with the decision makers and the communication manager, you could think of these kind of ideas. Another thing which we did was the mobile vehicle for MK Honeywell. Even before the fourth revolution picked up, we had a very futuristic mobile that went around the country, which actually transformed into 4% of additional sales, which was tracked from the vehicles sales and the movement. The fourth F is the inspiration to own your idea. So how fulfilling your idea is for your client really matters. And the last one is fruitful, the ability to build and reap quantifiable value. This is the example I gave you of MK Honeywell truck, where there was a quantifiable value that we were able to tell the client by way of metrics of how many people actually booked orders from the vehicle which went. This way today, technology is also available to capture data of behavior of people on the social platforms that you develop and deploy. Well, the case study, the outcome of a case study, I believe in giving practical solutions to the pyramids or the forums I give. Here is what I would like to share with you. This was for the Parker Hannifin, an American company. We designed a first global conference where with very minimal paper, we had designed the entire conference. This was an application that was developed and deployed way back in 2017. Subsequently, in 2017-18, we created the first automated technology-based launch of an event for ELECRAMA, which was a curtain raiser. Again, apart from the entire registration being automated, we also had the then Honorable Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, sign on a digital tablet and kick off an event. So this was the kickoff which happened in April 2017 for ELECRAMA of 2018. We also had Arnab, who had announced his channel in this event. And as Mr. Piyush Goyal writes, this whole thing was captured digitally. This may not sound like great stuff today, but way back, I'm talking about 4 years ago, this is something which we did. Well, we also do collaborative panel discussions, which is becoming the order of the day. We had 500 people on site in this event in 2017-18, and we had about 1,000 off-site people who collaborated digitally. So this was prior to pandemic we had executed. We also unveiled the driverless tractor for one of our clients in 2018, where the entire tractor had a fashion ramp walk. The tractor was unveiled in the concept of a fashion ramp walk. And currently, we are working on bouncing smart prototype projections for tabletop. This we are working in collaboration with a company from Germany. Well, the deploying the big five. We tried deploying this in one of our big events last year. Typically in 2020, Jan and Feb, the big three events in India, which is the ELECRAMA, the IMTEX and Auto Expo, we were part of all the three events. And probably with that, the curtain call came and we've still not been able to get back to the live events. However, in the last 1 year, MediaPoint has executed 75 hybrid and virtual events around the country. So here is an icing on the cake of one of the shows that we designed in Delhi. We had designed one of the biggest LED walls in Delhi in IEML Noida, and we had created a mix, a blend of power, energy, electricity, smart people, and of course the Incredible India's line. So that is what you just saw. In 2008, I think 19, we had the first face recognition in an exhibition, and we designed the Internet of India Congress in Bangalore. What I'm just going to show you is a sample of how the face recognition worked. People had to just register, they come in, their face recognition was done, and they walked inside. This is the video. So when people are talking about no contact deliveries and no contact registration, as a prophecy, I don't know, MediaPoint was blessed to design this. We had planned this and this was executed for IoT India Congress. I'll show this to you again. Okay, on a very lighter note, my dear friends, apart from these are all some good things I'm showing you. If you would ask me, are these 100% successful and foolproof? I'll say no, they are not. In an Indian scenario, it is very, very difficult to get people to listen to what you say and act the way you recommend. More so in an event and registration. You would always have a 20% of the audience who says, I am known to so-and-so, you call him, I will not go through this process. So always keep a backup where when you are willing to explore these kind of new stops in an event, keep a traditional, I call it as the ambassador route. I call it as the Hindustan Motors ambassador car route, where you need to have some special zones and walkways for people who are known to the organizers, who are known to so-and-so or the media, who will not follow the regiment here. However, this has been very successful for us and we have subsequently done all this, right? Then we came into ELECRAMA 2020 and where I'm going to show you what we did. Here, in ELECRAMA 2020, last year, I'm specifically taken ELECRAMA because out of the 4,000 events, though we have 200 clients, I really can't talk about all the clients. I'm taking one client where we have done a big work in Delhi. And since most of you are, I presume, would be from that part, I'm trying to show you an example from there. Now, in ELECRAMA, we had a complete electronic digital launch of the event. People had a live cloud app that was unveiled real time. They come, they don't have to register. Then they all together unveiled the event. And we had a theme of launch which resulted in the logo being unveiled, right? Shall I show you the video now? Would you all like to see the video? Some yes on the chat, and I'm going to show you the video. Otherwise, I'll go to the last slide. How many of you? Meda, thank you again. Ayushi, thank you again. Tanisha, yes, thank you. Anybody more? Okay, Divjot. Okay, awesome. This is what I want. Come on. I think you all talk about being in media and you don't communicate. It bores me, my dear friends. Come on. This is what I want to see. Aditya. So I really like the way you put it. Yes, awesome. Come on. So this one gentleman, Suraj, was just coming. I allowed him inside. Okay, this is the video which I'm presenting to you now. That was something which we earned us a lot of recognition. Thank you, Meda. Amazing. Thank you. Yes. The event was, I would like to discuss a little more on this. So I'll quickly finish so we can talk a lot so that you will be able to take something out of me from the experience we bring to the table. Okay. I'll talk to you about this in a little more detail once I conclude this last slide. Now, with regard to the Industry 4.0, as I started by making the comment that you are at the cusp of change, today, MediaPoint has evolved into Industry 4.2 ourselves. We have created a new normal business practice. And this is a training which I delivered to the 1,000 students whom we have trained in the last 1 year under my Media Point Event Academy through various colleges across the country. Now, I'm going to give you one mantra. If it is boring, excuse me. For those of you who are very, very looking at long term, this would be of great use to you. I call everything with a name. This mantra is called Organized. Okay, operate only with the full grasp of client expectation. This is the new normal learning, my dear friends. You can take a note if this interests you. Operate only with the full grasp of even client expectations. Without understanding the expectations in a new normal business, do not step in. You could be in trouble. Never overpromise to a client with regard to technology and be very responsive at every point and at all times. Try and always work out a little extra. Be gracious with your client. You can be confident of what you do, be confident of yourself, and a very positive attitude essential to work in a digital framework. Say no to non-compliance. Never take the easy route. For example, people might say, I can get you some Chinese servers for your hybrid event at a low cost. Don't compromise on all those areas and cut your cost. You always pay your taxes on time. It helps you as a company if you'd like to get schemes and benefits from the government in the future. Always innovate and inspire within the realms of your zone and arena. Never ever compromise on safety and security of client data, of yourself and your team. Keep your equity intact. Financial transparency is a must. The new order today is you can demand your professional fee and clients are willing to pay, provided you are able to practice this entire thing here. And document every discussion. This is something which event managers who have closed on business speak to them. They will say the client cheated me, the client did not pay me money, my vendor didn't do this. No, all the bottom of all this is there is no articulation, there is no discussions, and there is no document of confirmations. Believe me, in the last 23 years, with blessings of God and with great partners, we have never bounced to one check. And the proof I say is, if your organization is transparent and if you've got a very good dialogue and relationship with your partners, you can scale up the success wall in no time. This mantra, I call it as organized, right? And what could be the outcome if you practice this regularly? The outcome would be, you would be a preferred partner for your clients. Client becomes your guide and teacher at many times. The client will guide you. Hey boss, don't do this here. Do this way and present it. This will become easy. Let's handle it this way. He becomes your good friend. Sustained business. At every turn of an opportunity, they'll only think of you. Wide spectrum of engagement. You will not be restricted to only one area. And support in time of need. Whenever you need a help, a client whom you have serviced well comes to your help. And they will give you valuable testimonials and invitations to newer jobs and assignments and activities. Awesome. Okay. Did you all like this? I'll answer your question, Treya. Amazing event. Okay. What qualities? Okay. I'm going to answer all your questions. Super. I'm so happy you're asking me questions. Well, technology to rock. Okay. What are the technologies you need to look for in future? Okay. This is another slide where you can look around for remote and virtual DJ and band. Zoom may not be the only solution for that. There are other softwares and solutions available for it. You could have a robo host in future where you can cut down on cost, at the same time have hosts who can run a show for you. Data share, guest behavior based data is going to be the key for you to charge a premium with your client. So you'll have to invest in analytics, which is very important, not just Google Analytics. A wide range of metrics have to be designed and analyzed. Immersive experiences will become the order of the day. Social gatherings, okay, ambience immersive experiences will become order of the day. AI chatbots, not the ones you currently see, but translation chatbots, AI chatbots, help you chatbots, all this is going to become the order of the day very soon, right? And the future. Guest predictive analytics, event managers are not just going to be the guys who are receiving guests anymore. You're going to be part of the guest predictive analysis team. Collaborative summits, you will be able to manage across geography summits simultaneously, concurrently. You'll have the ability to build all those things. You will have to be eco-responsible in future. That's going to get you clients. You should be able to show them so much of green you have helped this year, which will get you credits from clients and from government bodies in future. Merged immersions, a mix of live and immersive experiences will be the order of the day very soon. and game-based applications for events where you have hybrid engagements and digital engagements, business game applications will become order of the day. Let's hold each of us very well. Would you all want to see one of the platforms we have built currently, recently? How many of you would like to see that? If there's a yes, I show you, otherwise we stop here. Okay, I will show you one of the platforms we recently built and we handled. It's no rocket science, my dear friends. It's just that we offer what the client wants. Okay, just confirm you're able to see the screen, please. Okay, this is the platform we built with complete coding. This is not a website. This is a virtual platform on the cloud. It's available. This has been completely coded with interactive posters. These posters also communicate and talk. It's not just hanging posters here. We have a meditation room. We are currently working on a few things which are very special to India in terms of our heritage. People can look at immersive tours and 360-degree tours, which we are currently shooting. You have a grand ballroom. We'll have a media center. Media center will showcase all activities of the event, everything, right from a video gallery, you go to the poster gallery, anything and everything is possible in this place. We have the agenda. We have an organizer profile. We would have a special messages. We have the wish board. Apart from this, we are currently building an immersive studio stall. We are currently, as I'm talking to you, my team is developing an immersive studio stall where all products and displays can all be displayed by a client, including a wearable device, including AR and VR, right? So this is something.
I think your older screen is still visible.
Oh God, is it?
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me. I think I was showing something else. Just give me a minute.
It's
Okay. So what we have done is, okay, I repeat again. We did this for the Uganda-India Summit last week. Now this becomes talking banners, as I told you, right? We have a whole set of arrangements done in this place, right from a wish board to media center to special messages to speaker profile to organizer profile. You name it, everything is here. We also have built breakaway rooms here. So we have breakaway rooms. You have a grand ballroom. Okay. We have built a meditation room where we have assisted guidance for meditation. We are currently working on an immersive stall with VR devices, which we should be unveiling on 1st September on our 24th anniversary. Okay. So this is what I wanted to share about the immersive experience of the hybrid platform which we have developed. And before I conclude, here is one video and then I conclude from this. So thank you so much. As a very special gift, I'm going to gift most of you an exclusive 9 gigs that can success your startup, which is an exclusive designed by me, and a gift of special installation for the first 2 who have participated immediately. I'm going to give you a set of guides, which is Peak Your Performance, which will help you become great event managers. As I'm talking to you, if you don't, this is a famous saying I always tell my colleagues, if you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want will get sacrificed. I'm Dr. Deepak Swaminathan. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. I'm here to take questions.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, so much for the amazing session.
Thank you.
As you can see, we do have a few questions.
Sure.
Medha is asking what personality traits and skills all event planners must have. And I think I'd like to club that with another question from Shivansh, who's asking what qualities an event manager should have during the time of crisis management.
Okay. I think both are, we could have a common answer for both. I'm sure you'll agree with me. Primarily, why does a crisis even arise? I think this is something we need to learn from the Japanese. In India, this is not really practiced very well. We are known as a jugaad economy. Most of the time, we try to do everything in the last minute. We take things for granted. The minute you spend 75% of your time in your boardroom, ideating, iterating, challenges and failures, you would have the least of challenges at sight. One. And the second part, on a very philosophical note, being very God-fearing, I've come to realize that there's nothing much in your control when you come to an event site. There are so many factors which are not in your control, but you need to remain calm, because if there is a challenge, there's a challenge, so be it. You can't change anything. You can do your best to correct the situation. So being calm in an adversity is an essential stuff. At the same time, spend a lot of time in your boardroom. All our events, we have mandatory war room discussions. So we discuss right from a pin to a pistol, everything we discuss and we map it. I think this is what we do at MediaPoint.
All right. Shreya has another question. She's
Yes,
asking,
please.
in the era of this digital paradigm, in order to host interesting online events, how can we overcome the issues of limited interaction, passive audience, and network issues?
So if it is going to be a very rudimental entertainment event, I think we really not need to worry about it, because that's anyway, we don't have very big role to play. However, if you're looking at an exclusive soft spot of summits and symposiums and technology areas or large exhibitions, the data that you circulate real time with AI fused voice translation, if you can do a dialect which is voice translatable to the local geography of the country within India, or you are able to get a Japanese or a Chinese person where the system automatically translates the presentations, and a whole bunch of behavior based. For example, in a social revolution, you know the behavior of your customer or a visitor. If his search points or her search points are being tabulated and stacked for him within your virtual platform, these could earn eyeballs from clients. This is what we try to do currently, and this is giving us reasonable success.
Okay. Shruti is asking how to present a real-time experience while organizing digital events.
I'm not clear about your question. Real time itself is virtual, right? How to
Yes.
present a real-time experience while organizing digital events? I mean, I'm not clear. I need a little more understanding of this question, please.
Shruti, if you can reframe your question and post again. Meanwhile, Chetna is writing, when nearly all events moved online last spring, organizers had minimal time to prepare. This led to a raft of attacks from cyber criminals to so-called Zoom bombers. Many of these attacks come down to the fact that organizers had little time to think about security and viewed virtual events as nothing more than temporary workarounds, using unsuitable tools in the process. How can this be avoided?
Okay, so I think I made this a point in one of the slides when I was talking. Safety and security and data protection is critical. Now, let's say when we have ground events, my dear friends, you all know we need to take IPRS, you need to take PPL licenses, right? Apply the same thing in a digital scenario. You can take the help of technology companies. There are security companies available. There are data security companies who are available, who can devise, okay, all this can happen if you are willing to invest big monies. Otherwise, partner with companies who have got these products, where you can ensure you will have controlled ambience of Zoom. For example, last Sunday, for one of the leading banks in India, we hosted an event for 40,000 people, where we had 10 locations where 100 people per location were there. And because in two halls, we had 50 people, like that, we had 10 locations. And believe me, the balance were all coming online in multiple breakout rooms. Now, whether you integrate Zoom, whether you integrate WebEx, or whether you integrate anybody else for that matter, you can create device plugins where it could just be a chat-oriented communication, where the entry is through your virtual platform through proper registration. And the data, like a Zoom account and the password, cannot be shared with anybody, because everybody gets a curated password by OTP. These are ways we have managed.
All right.
Thank you. Have I answered your question, guys?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think if there are no more questions, we can wrap up this. And
Thank you.
I would now like to welcome Dr. Susmita Bala, Head of DME Media School, for her concluding remarks.
Thank you, Tinam. Session of Dr. Deepak Swaminathan is very, very interesting, and mesmerizing.
Thank you, ma'am.
We thoroughly enjoyed it. This would have given the students a new perspective with regard to organizing events. This will really be helpful to students when they will organizing Ritika and SIFI in the coming months. Thanks, Dr. Swaminathan, again for enhancing our knowledge in this particular area. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Saxena. Thank you, everybody, my dear friends. And I look forward to connecting with you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would now like to thank Dr. Swaminathan for sparing time out of his busy schedule and enlightening our students. I would also like to thank Dr. Saxena and Dr. Bala for conceptualizing and managing the session orientation program series. And I would also like to thank my colleagues, Ms. Mudita Raj and Ms. Shruti VS, for their technical support. And I would also like to thank the students for joining us in this session today. Our next session on the paper Basics of Radio Program and Production will be by Ms. Kajal Suri, acclaimed theatre artist and program executive, All India Radio, on the topic radio programs and formats, and it's going to start from 2 p.m. onwards. Till then, thank you everyone for joining. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
In DME, we believe in engagement and empowerment of students. And since the time this COVID-19 struck in 2020, we intensified this whole process.
For the education sector, it was a big challenge. At DME, our small dynamic team decided to take this challenge head-on.
We organize different kind of programs, different webinars wherein the distinguished people from the industry and other walks of life, they are invited to interact with the students. We try to keep them engaged in taking out newsletter, writing stories, editing stories, and not only that, they make posters, they make cartoons, they write pieces for the newsletter.
Mentoring cell at DME is a very unique feature in the ecosystem of education. While the subject teachers forge the knowledge domain strongly, it is the mentors who reach out to students in difficult times. During pandemic, when our students faced loss of their loved ones, home isolation, and several other family issues, mentors ensured that students remain cheerful, lively, and stay connected with us.
We have ensured that our students are treated with compassion, warmth, and gentle touch. And it has been our endeavor to treat all the academic activities of our students, which includes PSDA, internal assignment, and various other curricular activities accordingly.
Research Cell also pays huge emphasis on interdisciplinary nature of research. In order to promote this, the research centers of the Research Cell were also motivated to join with each other and conduct research activities for students, faculties within DME and outside DME.
While the strong academics and great industry connect is building great lawyers, media persons, and managers at DME, we at Mentoring Cell are enabling these future leaders to be compassionate, emotionally strong, and resilient for any times to come.
We empower the students. All the schools of DME, they have their students' council. In DME Media School, this council is part. They organize the program themselves, they take their own decisions, and they mobilize the students for all the good cause.
Art has the power to unite and connect during the times of crisis. Bringing people together, sharing, soothing, and inspiring are powers of art, which have been made empathically obvious by the DME cultural societies during the COVID-19 pandemic. By taking different innovative approaches in organizing various virtual competitions and events in which the students of DME have taken part with great enthusiasm and proved that DMEians are unstoppable.
Care with compassion is motto of DME. During Corona period, we were always with our students. Their well-being is primary for us. We take care of our students.
We met the expectations of the students, of the parents, and above all of the industry. The placements this year were better than those of the previous years. DME is committed to supporting its students in all possible ways.